Well, Danny, a 2-1 defeat on the road. Just first of all, how do you summarise the game?
I've just alluded to that in another interview about charity. We can't keep giving opposition goals, and we got away with the first penalty. A great save from Mitch, and then I think we started to assert ourselves in the game, and then we give him another one, and it was a little bit loose, the penalty, to be fair. He's caught his lace in his boot and a bit harsh, but I don't think we can have too many complaints about it. And you gift them that kind of 1-0 lead against the side. It's going to be tough, but that came at a time where I thought we started to assert ourselves in the game. So no, it was a tough defeat to take, because overall there was a lot of positives. We started slow but finished really strongly. So,
what did you make of the penalty decisions, and should we have had one ourselves in the second half?
Personally, I think if the first two were penalties, the second one should have been a penalty. Our opportunity should have been a penalty, and then obviously from the resulting clearance they go and score the second goal. But we can't rely on penalties to be winning football matches. We've got to create and cause the opposition problems, and I thought for 25 minutes of the second half, as good as we were with the ball, we didn't really hurt them, and there was a breaking play and we got them around, and we spoke about actually being effective, and we kind of went at them, and that's where the goal come from, and I genuinely believe we was going to go and get something out of the game. But again, those crucial decisions at those crucial moments, which some would argue, when you're talking about the top players in the world, that's why they're there, because they make those right decisions, and today unfortunately we didn't.
And Solihull offer their own sort of unique tests. I think Rod mentioned in commentary that they have the tallest side on average in Europe. So
yeah, it's,
did you think we dealt with that robustness quite well?
If they get it right from their deliveries, it's almost impossible to defend against, because for every 6 foot plus player they've got 2, maybe 3, to be fair, and it's hard. But we know, and this is what we said in the dressing room, we know what they're about. We know what they're going to do. There's no surprises. So I don't think we handled ourselves at times well enough with managing, not giving away silly free kicks, not giving away penalties. But and again, like I've said it already too, that if Fylde are the favourites and they're the second favourites, we're not a million miles away from really putting a good run together and showing people what we're capable of doing.
And just going back to the game as well, tough conditions out there. Do you think they had a bearing on how the game was played for both sides today? Yeah,
and this is their stadium. They know it inside out. They know the wind. It always seems, no matter where you seem to stand, when you're the opposition, it always seems to be in your face. We even laughed at it. We think they might have wind machines, but yeah. So it's just everywhere we stood, and conditions are conditions. You're going to change every game you play, and I think it would be quite childish of us to start looking at excuses of the wind did this and the wind did that. The bottom line was we didn't defend well enough at times, and when we had the opportunities to really hurt them, we weren't clinical enough. And we've been honest with ourselves in the dressing room. The lads are disappointed, and we'll be honest with our sort of report of the game. We weren't good enough in certain areas today. The only thing I was pleased with again was until the final whistle, I thought we looked the fitter side again. We didn't stop, so and that has to be the standard.
And that's a good trait to have taken into these games where it's Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah, the only thing that we've got to make sure we manage is we don't get to the end of August and we've burnt out, because we've given so much that. And that's where the managing of the squad comes along, and we've got to make sure we make those subtle changes as it goes, and everyone gets an opportunity to have some kind of rest, because that's just as important as training at times.
And you mentioned the changes. Harry come on today. He was involved in our penalty appeal and put the cross in that set up AJ, who hit the bar. He was another sub, and Ethan headed in, who was a change on Tuesday as well. So
I think that's the strength of the squad. If I'm honest, there's no kind of. I don't look at the dressing room and think, I don't really want him on, or I don't like this one, or it's a case of I trust them, and I trust that when they come on the pitch, they'll affect it. And every time we've made changes, they've done that, to be fair to the boys.
And looking ahead to Tuesday, I think we mentioned last week that the game Tuesday night is ideal for us to just not forget this game altogether, but brush this result aside and move on quickly and put it right.
You have to move on. You have to look at areas where you're potentially going to improve and things that we need to work on the training pitch from a development perspective, from a progression perspective. But the disappointment of the result has to go, and they've got to make sure that by the time they come back in Monday morning, it's gone, and we have to move on. That's the game, and we can't capitulate on something that we can't change because it's done.
And we move ahead to Tuesday. What do you make of Bromley? They've recruited well in the summer, haven't they?
Yeah, Neil Smith, he's a good manager, and he understands the league very well. And some of the players they've recruited will add real quality to their squad. But like I keep saying, we're a good side, and we're confident. We're going to the game confident.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Danny.
Cheers, Chris.